boobs are amazing.
It's just the consensus of everything.
Scientifically proven fact.
Yeah.
That was the last thing that was said before we went on the air. And surprisingly, it was by Stephanie.
It's true. Boobs are amazing.
I don't completely get it. I don't get the boobs are amazing thing. I really don't. I don't know what it is.
If I had boobs, I would never leave the house.
Well, that's just because you're a man. If you were a female, you would feel differently. Straight female, you would feel differently, I think.
I don't know.
There was a post on Reddit that was like, why does everybody love boobs so much? And the most like comment was a guy who said like, life hard, life cold, boobs warm, boobs not, wait, what are boobs soft, boobs warm? And everybody's like, that explains it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean,
Not wrong.
They are very warm and soft. I'll say that much. I don't know if any other girls do this, but when my hands are cold, I just go straight in like
under,
or like under here.
Yeah.
We were talking about what directions our nipples face, because depending on what size boobs you have and if you've had kids or breastfed and things like that, I was bragging that my nipples still face forward. I'm very proud of that fact.
All right.
After 3 kids, breastfeeding.
Because a lot of people's point straight down at the ground and people don't realize that
you're not going for the fried egg on a nail yet?
the what?
When they get, never mind.
Oh, God.
The Friday what?
Fried eggs on a nail. Or a sock with a tennis ball in it.
Sock with a ball. I get that. So I had a breast reduction when I was 22, and it was the greatest thing I ever did because it made them a normal big size and put my nipples back on facing forward.
I will say that there is such thing as too much of a good thing.
I would think there is too. Is it a suffocation hazard?
No, I think it's for your frame. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
I have been to my fair share of gentlemen's clubs.
No.
And
What?
there's always one or two of those ladies who look like they're smuggling basketballs.
Yeah.
Stop. You shouldn't look like the letter P when you stand sideways.
No. And
They
when
should fit your frame.
Yeah.
and mine did not. When I got my breast reduction, I probably heard for a year straight, "Oh my God, how much weight did you lose?" And I'm like, I didn't lose any weight. I just cut my titties off. Like,
I mean, that counts though. That's weight.
it does. It was like 4 pounds of fat that they sucked out, and they actually like cut your nipples off and like put them on the table next to you.
Yeah.
You have to reposition them. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they put them back on. I mean, like, if you are a very large chested woman and you've ever thought about getting a breast reduction, it is the best thing you could ever do for yourself. The only thing I regret was not doing it sooner, but I was like 22. You can't get it much earlier than that.
Right, yeah.
And then I know a lot of girls get caught up in like, but big boobs are my thing. Like, that's what who cares? Who
If that's your
cares?
thing, then you need to develop something else.
Yes, you need a better personality.
I had a friend when I lived in Chicago who got surgery, but it's because one was like drastically bigger.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one can be a lot bigger than the other. So I don't know what it is, but I guess everybody loves boobs. I'm unamused by them. I think because I hated mine for so long.
Yeah.
I was an athlete.
Was it
and
because you were self-conscious?
yeah, because I didn't. Like, I was a late bloomer when it came to like liking boys and stuff like that. I was
Same.
still like let's have fart competitions. Like, I did not start really liking boys until I was like probably halfway through high school. And so
Probably
having,
the same.
yeah, but I had friends having sex in
Yeah, we
8th
like
grade.
boys too.
So, I was a late bloomer when it came to like being sexually interested in the opposite sex. And so like having these giant boobs all the time, it was like, I just didn't know where to put them or what to do with them. And I'll never forget. I was
not touching that comment.
I was a figure skater and I was in.
Oh, that's got to screw with your center of gravity.
Yeah, it did. And I was in a Christmas show and my song was Santa Baby. And at the very beginning, I did this move where my hand was up like this and I went, Santa Baby. And when I watched it back on the VHS tape, because I had like these sequins and stuff, it was like a rolling uniboob of like Santa Baby. And it was like one beat behind what I'm doing. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, I look so stupid and I'm getting a breast reduction. So I have PTSD from Santa Baby when I hear it. I just think of my big shiny red spandex uniboob going. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to promise you're not the only person who's having a PTSD about
Santa Baby.
secrety boobs.
So we were not even gonna talk about boobs. It just came up naturally as it does. But yeah, I'm Kelly Manno. This is Stephanie, and this is Haas, and
Hello.
we do a podcast. I guess it's not a podcast; it's just a YouTube show at this point.
Yeah.
It's not a podcast. I don't know what to call it. But once a week, we come in here, we sit down, we shoot the shit live. You can jump in live on the comments on YouTube, or if you don't catch us live, then it's posted up there afterwards. But yeah, we just talk about whatever's going on in the week, whatever's going on in our lives. It's It's a pretty easy to digest content show, I would say. Not a lot of politics, not a lot of, that kind of stuff. But
I mean, I have a feeling we're going to get heated today.
we're going to get heated today, but it's not going to be about politics.
No.
I mean,
Thank goodness.
but here's the thing, Hoss, I think that we're on the same page. Like,
I think we are.
I really think we are. I just think that we have different ways of explaining it.
One of your ex's relatives posted something, and I tried to explain it as best I could, and she did not understand what I was telling her.
Oh, wait, she's the one who unfriended me then. Probably. Does her name start with an L? Do you remember?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Hey.
So earlier this week, 2 or 3 days ago, I posted what did I even post? It was something on Facebook about how I didn't get all of the Taylor hate. And we talked about this last week. Like, why does everybody bitch and complain that they show Taylor Swift on the football games? People are so dramatic about it. I don't get it.
I mean, she gets a total of 12 seconds throughout the whole damn game.
Yes, the New York Times did a report on it. And out of a 3-hour and 12-minute show, she was shown 24 seconds.
Oh, gosh.
And Jason Kelce.
I'll explain the whole thing in a very easily to digest way.
Okay, hang on. Jason Kelce, naked hanging out with his shirt off, was 21 seconds. Nobody said a word. But anyway, so I had posted a thing about how I didn't get the Taylor Swift hate and how annoying it was that people just find that to hate on. And then one of my own technically relatives unfriended me and blocked me and told me I needed to find Jesus over Taylor Swift.
Wow.
I mean, technically it was because I told her she was bad at math, but so I mean,
if that's the worst thing you said.
Well, I did say, I said, come back with a calculator when you feel stupid.
Oh.
She had left several shitty comments about how much she hated Taylor. But then at the end, she had written well, too bad that she's got a concert in Tokyo and won't make the Super Bowl anyway. Oh, and I responded to her and I said, hey, do you not understand how airplanes work? And then she wrote back.
People that don't.
Yeah. And then she wrote back and said, do you not understand how time zones work? And then I wrote back and said, do you not understand how math works? Because maybe grab a calculator and then come back and comment when you feel stupid.
Oh, boy.
And then so she went and came back and she's like, well, she might make it there eventually, but something. And I'm like, no, try it again. Use a calculator and use your fingers if you need to. Yeah. Because
Justin Zimmerman, you are 100% right. And that is all part of the argument that I'll make.
Well, so let me finish this, then we'll move on to that. The Swifties have had this figured out since literally August. I know I personally made a video in October, November, saying that we had all figured out, on TikTok, that if Taylor left Tokyo at this time on this flight, that she'd be in by noon and could make the Super Bowl. And my comments were just flooded with people who were like, Kelly, the Chiefs are not going to make the Super Bowl. Don't worry about it. So Swifties have had this figured out for months. All these people who are suddenly coming to the conclusion that Taylor's going to make it. It's like, honey, we've been on that.
Yeah.
We've been on that.
At it.
And so she will be at the Super Bowl. And I don't get the hate. Honestly, the family member, whatever kind of family member that unfollowed me, I don't give two flying shits. So it's the classic case of I'm going to come in someone else's comment section and be bitchy, but then when they're bitchier to me, then I'm going to retreat and tuck my tail and be like, but now I'm the victim.
No,
you can't play the victim card after you play the asshole card.
Yeah,
it is part of life.
Yep.
And so
can't take it.
Yeah, don't holy shit. All I said was you're bad at math. It showed me to find Jesus. Good Lord.
Wait, is he good at math?
He can count to 3.
Hoss, go ahead and give everybody your rundown of what's going on in football right now, because you are a diehard Buffalo Bills fan.
Huge.
Which the Chiefs knocked out
again. So here is the shortest way I can explain this. It is not that people are hating on Taylor Swift. It's a combination. It's a perfect storm of a couple of combinations. Number one, the Kansas City Chiefs are the new New England Patriots.
Yes, they are.
25 years ago when the Patriots started winning, and overnight, every damn person you knew had a Tom Brady jersey, and you hated them all because it was annoying, you couldn't get away.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
I thought a lot of the Patriot hate, though, partially
because they won all the time.
It's because they won all the time, but partially because of the cheating.
Deflategate?
Some. There's always people who are going to say that they were cheating. Some of it was proven, but it's because they won.
Okay. So you're saying mostly because they won,
yes.
not because, okay.
So this is the new Patriots. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. They've won 2 of them. They could win 3 in 4 years.
Yeah.
So people hate teams that keep winning, unless you are already a fan of that team.
Right.
Yeah.
On top of that, there is a massive overexposure of the Kansas City Chiefs right now, because you can't turn on your TV without seeing Patrick Mahomes and or Travis Kelce.
Every commercial.
Subway, State Farm,
Yep.
vaccines, they're everywhere. You cannot get away from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Kansas City Chiefs as a whole are already hated because they're winning everything, and you can't escape them.
Right.
Now you add in the biggest star on planet Earth. You legitimately have no refuge from the Kansas City Chiefs now.
True. Very true.
You also have a group of people who know F all about football, but just want Taylor Swift's boyfriend's football team to win. So
I may or may not have a sweatshirt that says "Go Taylor's boyfriend."
So it is a combination of all of that overexposure
Yeah.
that is making the people who hate the Chiefs just hate that there's even more exposure. Now, the specific things being said about Taylor are dumb, but Kelly, as you know, because you're a sports fan, this is what sports razzing is.
It is.
She's getting nothing that anyone else around the sports world has not. The kicker from the Buffalo Bills had to deactivate his social media after that game because of the death threats he was getting for missing a kick. There was a guy on the Blues 3 weeks ago who deactivated his social media because he and his kids and his wife are getting death threats for something he allegedly said about a prospect who now doesn't want to sign with the Philadelphia Flyers where he came from.
But those are the athletes, and she's not the athlete. Her hate should remain within her music or what she's doing.
When she puts herself in the eye of a football stadium and a football guy, it doesn't matter. I will say this. If she was dating any dude from the Philadelphia Eagles or Miami Dolphins or Minnesota Vikings, it wouldn't be as bad. It is because she is linked to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And people are already sick and tired of the Chiefs. And now here she goes, great. Now we get to hear about the Chiefs on every other show we go to because Taylor Swift's involved.
I am surprised that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are not starting to become more self-aware of how sick people get of you. Because even on my very small level of exposure and social media and stuff like that, I feel like I'm very aware of like, this is too much. I put out too much content this week. People are going to be sick of seeing my face. Like there's a level to it. Because that's the other thing is they go to commercial and it's like Travis Kelce commercial, Pat Mahomes commercial, boom, 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 boom. And then they come back and show Taylor for 2 seconds. And it's like, oh my God, why do they have to show her so much?
That's it.
I'm like, why aren't you bitching about the guys? Why is it her? It is so, people don't like to think that we are still so prejudiced against women, but we are. And if
I really don't think that it's that deep with this.
I think it is. I think it is from the women. I think that there are a lot of women out there who like sports and for whatever reason feel the need to be validated by male football fans. So it's like whatever they're saying, then I'm going to say too, and I'm going to be in the cool group and just rag on this girl. And anybody like Stephanie and I who are Swifties know that Taylor Swift as a human being, not even as a celebrity, take that out of it, as a human being has been treated like absolute garbage by men her entire life. And she has handled it with a class and a grace that most of us could never even imagine from having a grown man rip the award out of her freaking hands when she's 19 years old.
That guy's fucking crazy.
Right. To then him writing a song about her, saying he made that bitch famous and lying about a recording. You got the radio DJ grabbing her ass in a picture, smiling like she had to sue him for $1. Sure. And then you've got one of her best friends and the music industry she grew up with stole her music out from underneath her and didn't even tell her. I mean, like that. Scooter Braun. That's why she re-recorded all of her music.
Wow.
Yeah.
She recorded all of her music because she didn't own the masters.
Well, so Big Machine owned them and she was a partial owner. So basically she still owned the songs. She just didn't own that specific recording. Yeah. And so that's why she's re-recorded it. And she said when she started doing this, like, I don't expect my fans to do anything. I don't expect you to rebuy stuff. I'm doing this for me. It was her life's freaking work. And it was one of her best friends that did it. And he's come out and said, like, I regret it so much. I really thought that I could buy it and then explain to her what I wanted to do with it and how we were going to partner. But basically it broke out in the news before he could do that. So she found out about it like on Twitter. or something. And then speaking of Twitter, just as recently as this weekend, there was a bunch of these like deep fake photos released of her like naked and like pornographic images. Like, this girl's been through hell from men.
I'm not going to defend anything that's happened. The deep fake stuff, that's just trash.
It is.
But it's satire. Like, I heard that she's thinking about legal action. And to me, that this falls into the same category as People versus Larry Flint, when Jerry Falwell tried to sue Hustler magazine because they ran an article that said Jerry Falwell lost his virginity to his mom in a barn or something like that, and lost because the judge said no one with reasonable common sense would think that that's legitimate. And I think that's where these pictures would fall. I haven't seen the pictures, so I don't know, but I would imagine.
I haven't either. I heard that they're awful, but I support Taylor 100%. I mean, like, there's satire and then there's pornographic material. Like, there's a big difference.
It's tasteless, but it's still satire. It falls under the satire rules.
But it's still using your image in a way that is, I don't know if it's illegal, but you can't. Yeah, there's.
If anything, it's unauthorized.
It's unauthorized, yes. It's not illegal if you're not trying to make money off it.
And if I know Taylor and the way that she has stood up for herself over and over and over again to men, she'll do it again and she'll sue him or whatever. And here's the thing. Taylor is more powerful than probably any owner in the NFL. So you guys better be nice to her before she buys your favorite team and trades your favorite player. Because sis could do it tomorrow.
People were so offended that there were people in Baltimore like lighting pictures of her on fire. Like,
nobody cares about that.
You've never been to a football tailgate?
No, nobody cares about that.
Jerseys that get lit on fire. And if you really want to talk about like saying horrible things to people, both on and off the field, watch Premier League soccer. You'll see stadiums of 50,000 people.
Oh, they like kill people.
They do full stadium chants for a half hour straight about how a player's wife is a whore.
Nice.
So
they do that at high school hockey games too, but it's the girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. But like 50,000 people in unison for an hour. So I don't condone it.
Yeah.
But all of the people who are so shocked and appalled at what she's going through, welcome to the world of sports, kids.
Yeah, and that I agree with you on. The thing that I don't agree on is the people who are just like, oh my God, why do they keep showing her when they don't even show her that much? Or then the people who are...
You really need to know why they're showing her? It's real simple, kids.
Yeah.
There are little girls at home watching football games waiting for a 3-second shot of their favorite star.
Yeah.
And that raises your average quarter hour of viewing,
yes,
which lets you charge more money for commercials.
And look at all the little girls you're exposing to football that are probably spending time with their dads that are, there's just not really a bad side to this. And then the other thing that really pisses me off is the people who bring politics into it. They're like, oh, well, it's because she's a Democrat or this or that.
Oh, Jesus.
You guys.
It has to do with anything.
Taylor is not.
Everything in 2024.
It's because
everything in the world is political.
Let's just be real clear. Back in 2018, she endorsed a Democratic mayor of Tennessee, wherever she lived at the time, right?
Cool.
And then in 2020, she posted something about Joe Biden when he ran, that she was going to vote for him. That's it. That's all. That's all. And people are acting like she's some political activist out there, like the Dixie Chicks on stage, like just ripping into shit. No, she's not. And then a lot of people were like, well, I'm not, I don't like him because Travis Kelce's out there promoting the jab, the shot, the jab,
Again, because everything in this world has to be political.
Okay. Like, are you guys okay?
No.
Like, are you okay?
Nobody has anything better to do with her.
No.
Literally, in my house, in the Manno house that we live in, there were 3 of us that were unvaccinated and 2 of us that were. We never didn't like each other because one was vaccinated. Like, why is that our litmus test of whether or not you like somebody? Like, do people not understand you can have different politics and be totally fine with it?
Yeah, but you know what? The vaccine shouldn't be a political thing. Your health should not be political.
Well, any social issues should not. I just get so annoyed by people who take the little. Now, I understand how there are some celebrities that will throw your politics in your face, and I can't stand that. Yeah. Honestly, I don't care how anyone feels about politics, but if it's your entire personality, go away. Yeah. Go away. I don't have a conversation to have with you. But when it's just somebody like Taylor who has said twice in a 20-year career, like who she's voting for, and that's it, it just. shut up. If you cannot handle the fact that somebody votes different than you and they're not doing anything hateful or saying anything hateful, go outside and practice falling down. Like, nobody likes you.
Right.
Seriously.
Look, I'm not on. I have nothing wrong with Taylor's music. I'm not on Team Taylor for this, but it's because I hate the Chiefs with every fiber of my being. I hate the Kansas City.
And I think I can't. I mean, aside from people who have been diehard fans from before the Super Bowls, not a lot of people are cheering for them. I mean, it's like we live in St. Louis, okay?
Yeah.
There's
You
times
think our de facto team is the Chiefs, right?
right, but we also have the Cardinals who win a lot.
Why does it have to be the de facto team?
Because they're in the same state as us.
In the same state.
Where were all the Chiefs fans in the 90s before we got the 80s and 90s before we
cheering
got
for the Rams, I guess?
Before the Rams were here.
I don't know.
That's my point. You want to know why they're Chiefs fans? Because the Chiefs are winning. It's the Patriots 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when we have the Cardinals, I get it. Like, there's sometimes where there have been years where we've won so much that it's like the whole world hates us, and I get it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not cheering for the Chiefs. I'm cheering for my boyfriend Nick Bosa. Which, let's just explain the fact that this Super Bowl coming up next weekend or the following weekend is like the Kelly Manno like if they were like, let's put together a Super Bowl that Kelly Manno would love. It's going to be Nick Bosa. It's going to be Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
and they've got Post Malone singing "America the Beautiful."
And Usher at halftime. So I am very excited. I'm excited for everyone to see. Are you
going to be upset if she's not there?
Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to be there.
Are you going to be upset if she's not there?
No.
Why?
Because you just said the Super Bowl is Nick Bosa and Taylor Swift.
Oh,
and Post
Malone. I'm sure. I think she'll be.
Look, I'm not saying she will or not. I want to tell you right now, the NFL will pay for that private jet to get her there.
Yeah, they will.
But there is a chance she could maybe not make it. I think she'll be there, but there's a chance she might not be.
Maybe like a weather-related thing or something.
You never know. There could be a problem with the plane. It could be weather. There's tons of variables when it comes to travel.
One other thing that I love about Taylor that I want to say, and then I'll move on and we'll talk about some other things, is that I have throughout my jobs in the last 10, 15 years, I've been around a lot of professional athletes and I've been around a lot of their families and a lot of their wives. And let me just tell you, there are a lot of girlfriends and a lot of wives who will show up to those games dressed head to toe in leather and fur with their tits hanging out and play on their phone the entire game. They couldn't even tell you what their significant other is doing out there on the ice or the field or whatever. So say whatever you want about her. Taylor is showing up every weekend in freaking sweatshirts and hoodies and watches the entire game. She's into it. She loves it. She's learning the game. Yeah. She's not pretending
I got no problem with her.
Yeah. So just
I don't pretend to know her incredibly well. I did get to spend Thanksgiving with her.
Yes,
which was
awesome. That was like a while back because she's got family in what?
St. Peter's.
Well, her grandma went to Lindenwood University. Yeah.
So one of my very good friends has a child with Taylor's cousin.
Got it.
But so I got to spend. There was Thanksgiving right after the Kanye incident in the SNL. She is a lovely human being. She is as nice as the day is long. I have nothing bad to say about her.
Yeah.
But people are so shocked at the backlash against this, and you have to take your fandom of Chiefs football out of it, people in St. Louis, because you're fair weather bandwagon fans. You have to take your love of Taylor out of it and look at like what is happening, and it's legitimately just two overexposed things coming together, and people are just like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is the most she's probably one of the most overexposed celebrities in general right now because of her Eras tour.
Sure.
And she's handled it so well. Yeah. That's why I'm surprised that, like I said, that Kelsey and Mahomes aren't starting to get some self-awareness of like, my God, every single commercial is about us.
Here's the thing about that though.
They don't care. They're catching the checks.
Yeah, they're capitalizing on their celebrity right now.
Your window as a pro athlete is short.
Yeah, that can go away in a minute.
Patrick Mahomes, there's no wood to knock on. I don't wish injury on anyone. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce can go out in the Super Bowl, break their legs, and be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week.
But they have pensions, right? And they have, even though their careers are short-lived, it's...
I don't know.
I think you have to play a certain amount of years in the league to get a pension. Now, again, you're also talking about the fact that they've banked millions upon millions upon millions of dollars.
Of course.
But at the same time, we're talking about a career where you're going to retire at 33,
right?
35,
which Kelsey is already.
Yeah, if you're Tom
right now.
There was talk before the season that this could be Kelsey's last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady played till he was 40. But the point being, like, if I was in that position, I would take every endorsement I could get too.
Exactly.
Because that's guaranteed money, whether I'm throwing a football or in a wheelchair.
Right. And you got to figure their spend. What's their spend? like.
Yeah,
right now,
because
you
they
know?
obviously have good.
I mean, they're not living in houses that you and I have.
no,
You know,
no.
they're not driving the cars that you and I have. Like their cost of living is quite a bit more than your average.
And depending on
American.
their wife that they have
Right,
too. I
exactly.
mean, like that's like I said, I've been around a lot of specifically like NHL players, and there's some that you can tell like their wives are like, "Yep, give me this big old house."
So that can go away.
Yeah.
Just like that. So like if I was in their shoes, I'd be like, "Yep, take anything you can give me. I will do every commercial. I will do because like Tom said, I mean, all this can go away in just a hot second."
Amy in New Hampshire says that she was amazing to some of the people watching at the Bills games.
Some of the workers.
I have friends who were there, and she was signing autographs for all the little girls who came up.
Mm-hmm.
She gave the waitress in her suite, I think, like $100 or $200.
She had like a wad of $100 bills she was just handing out to like the whole staff.
Again, those are singles for us.
There's like quarters for us, probably. I mean, my gosh. So, Stephanie, have you decided? Are you gonna try to go to the Eras tour again this year? I mean, we went last year.
Is it touring again?
Don't you have to have already?
You would have had to already buy the tickets, but you just buy the expensive ones on StubHub or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I was given the opportunity.
How much are tickets going for?
Hey, do you want to go with me? I have a ticket available. I would not turn that down.
Yeah, like the cheaper tickets are like $1,200 a piece.
F off.
I mean, I did not pay that.
No, and I did not either. And Stephanie gave me a gift on a platter where she had the opportunity. Stephanie got floor seats.
Oh, wow.
Did, yeah.
For face value.
Good for you.
Face value. I don't even know how that happened.
And then ended up with extra ones. So then like a week before the concert.
Well, somebody else bought the original tickets. And then because I had an in to buy the original tickets, and then somebody else got our group tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with that group. And then I got a text from my original code and was like, "Hey, there's more tickets opened up." And I was like, "Okay." And I just happened to click it within the first 5 seconds or something.
Yeah.
And managed to get a couple more floor seats because I was like, I can definitely sell these. And I knew that Kelly wanted to go. I was like, "Hey, you want these?"
When Stephanie first called me, this was a week before the concert. And
it was such short notice.
She texted me. She's like, "Hey, I have 2 extra tickets to the Eras concert if you and one of your girls want to go." And I thought, Stephanie's way too smart to get scammed. Like, how is she falling for this? Because like
she totally thought I was just like,
I thought 100% it was a scam. I'm like, for face value. I mean, they were like $400 or something. It was something. And I was like, there's no way, Stephanie. And sure enough, I talked to her on the phone. She's like, "No, it's real." Well, then
got them from Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Then comes the problem that I gave birth to 2 daughters.
Yeah.
And so I had,
knife fight.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of talked to the girls and I said, "Do either of you want to go? Do neither of you want to go?" Because I'm only like, I just pictured myself at the time. Lucy was a bigger Taylor Swift fan than Libby. That's changed now. But so I knew Lucy was going to go, but I told Libby that if she wanted to go, say the word, because this is not going to be a thing where I'm in a nursing home and Libby's unplugging the machine because I took her sister to Taylor Swift in 2023 and didn't take her, So, and at the end of the day,
Rocky didn't want to go?
No, Rocky was good. And then at the end of the day, so what we had to do was I got the 2 tickets from Stephanie, and then I had to buy a $1,200 nosebleed ticket for Libby.
No way.
You know what? I would have paid 3 times that because let me just tell you, I don't travel. I don't spend money on nice things. I don't have designer purses. My clothes come from Kohl's. I don't eat fancy places, and the memories that I have from that concert with my friends and my daughter will live a lifetime.
Yeah, and let's just say your butt never hit that seat in the stand.
My butt never hit. No, we got her down on the floor with us, so it was great, and I'm forever grateful to Stephanie because a worse person would have just sold those tickets because I knew Stephanie didn't have to tell me about those. She could have just went, "Hey, I'm going to make a quick $2,000."
Yeah.
So true. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if we're going to go this year or not.
Well, if you get some extra tickets, hit me up. I will.
I'll let you know if I lose my mind enough.
Yeah. Was it Indianapolis? That's our closest one.
Yeah, Indianapolis. Oh,
where's she playing in Indy? Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
That's a great. I just saw a football game there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a really great venue.
That's awesome. I was going to tell you. I like how we're acting like this isn't even a show, but Chris Stapleton is coming. But he's coming. We always say we want to go see him. He's coming somewhere in Tennessee.
I saw him.
That is
a year
like.
Or two ago.
Did you? It's like an outdoor nature amphitheater or something.
Fancy.
And I'm like, so I'm going to send you the link. I think we need to go.
I saw him as an opening act.
God, he's so
no
good.
Kidding.
Saw him in Nashville, Tennessee, open up for Guns N' Roses.
And was that one when you saw him that you were like, this guy's going to be huge?
He was already pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember thinking this is a really weird pairing, and I don't know if it's going to work. And it was great.
I saw him at
He was
Riverport.
phenomenal.
You saw him at Riverport? Yeah. I will never forget. I went to go see New Kids on the Block on their very, very, very first reunion tour. So it had to have been like 2014, 15, maybe even earlier, somewhere around there. And the opener came out and, everybody's ignoring the opener, right? We're all talking. And I just remember a couple songs in going, oh my God, this girl is so good. And I will never forget, she had a really simple, like black and white set, and it was just her on stage. And I'm like, my God, she's talented. It was Lady Gaga.
No kidding.
Yeah. Saw her on a stage that could have fit in this room at Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
That's where I got my picture with her.
Ah. Yeah.
It was before she was who she was. Yeah. And it was very David Bowie influenced. Like I remember number one, I had gone, it was on the BMG Emerging Artist stage. And I had gone that morning and seen someone who was just ass terrible. And so I was like, I'm not going back to that stage. And my friend comes up and he's like, hey, I have an artist. I need people to come watch. You want to go see? And I go, oh, where's she performing? BMG stage. No, I'm not going. He's like, come on, just give me 3 songs. No, I'm not going. Try for like 5 minutes. And he was like, she performs in her underwear. And I was like, you buried the lead. You get 3 songs.
You know what? I think she was in her underwear. I think she was in like little like booty shorts. But I just remember like 3 songs in, like stopping and going, oh my God, this opener is so good. And then, remembering her name and a couple of years later, seeing her come out and being like, yep, right. Called it. Called it. Do we want to talk at all about, I feel like we've talked football into the ground, but do we care about Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes like throwing the kickers shit before the game? That seemed to be like a big.
He's whatever. It's a bitch move.
By who? By Kelce?
By Mahomes.
By Mahomes. Kelce. So I tried to read into it, but honestly, I don't know enough about football because both of them, the groups came out and said, I've been warming up this way for years and this is how it happens. Because apparently if you're, you each have your own side that you warm up on, but if you're a special teams, like a kicker,
you're on the other guy's side.
Well, they let you do both.
Yeah.
They let you do both because of like wind conditions and whatever.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
It did seem like he was really like he was in the way.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he was like, I mean, he was just like stretching and stuff. And like nobody kicks from the 5-yard line. So it's like, dude, why is he there?
Yeah. He had all of his stuff like just right in that spot.
I don't know. But that they both come out and defended themselves saying, hey, I had every right to be there, and
people were calling it bullying behavior.
I don't know if it's bullying behavior, but it's definitely a bitch.
People don't understand what actual bullying is.
These are role models. They shouldn't be, modeling this for young kids and, things like that. It's like, I get that, but like, it's just hazing. Yeah, this is just like this little hazing, like this is sports stuff. They're just like,
if I was in charge of the Super Bowl winning quarterback and somebody was in his way, I would throw their shit in a heartbeat. Like, and it's not like he picked it up and chucked it 20 yards. He just tossed it.
He tossed it 5 feet, and plus it wasn't like he threw it at his face or something,
I don't know.
And he didn't and like you said, he didn't, throw it 20 yards down the field. Like,
he's like, get your and I'm sure there was a conversation first. It was like, hey, get your shit and move. Like, I know that you warm up on both sides, but we're here now. Like the game's starting or whatever.
Even if there wasn't, it's like, he was just razzing him a little bit.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Mahomes could have taken 3 steps to the left.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like,
I guess it kind of depends on who was there first. I guess maybe the kicker was there first.
Yeah.
Travis said it was a safety issue because when Patrick's throwing, his eyes are going left and right, and there's a helmet right down to the right of his feet, and he thought that Patrick was going to trip on it or something.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yep. I mean, fine.
Bitch move.
There was just a photo released of Patrick Mahomes in the locker room without his shirt on. I don't know if you guys saw it or not.
I did not see it.
It was very unflattering.
No.
And I certainly am not one to body shame, but even Patrick Mahomes himself was like, dude, why'd you have to do me dirty like that?
Oh no.
Yeah. Because it's like, you expect them to just be built, but he doesn't like have any like pecs, and neither does Travis Kelce, because he's been like accused of having like the dad bod. Yeah. But still, these guys are in such incredible shape. You would think they'd be incredible everywhere.
Well, okay. That's debatable though. I mean, that's debatable as far as like the function of your job, right?
Someone said all that Patrick needs to work is his arm and his brain. Like,
right.
But yeah, I would expect them to have like the ripped boy boobies, like the big,
Yeah. Well, not necessarily.
Okay. I mean, whatever it is, it works for him.
As long as,
whatever makes Taylor happy, right?
They're getting the job done,
I mean, it's the truth. If your girlfriend is into it, then screw everybody else.
Oh, yeah. I love the dad bod. The dad bod is awesome.
I do too.
The dad bod is awesome. I'm in the middle of online dating.
Done well for me.
Yeah. It really.
It's cuddlier, yeah?
Yeah, it's cuddlier. And then like when I'm doing like online dating, like barely, I'm trying. It's not going very well. But when I see a dude that is just like ripped, like head to toe, like I'm just automatically swiping left, which is the way that says no, because it's like, I don't want to compete with that. I feel like I'm going to be judged by that boyfriend.
Yeah. Plus, who wants to hug a rock?
No, nobody.
Yeah,
nobody.
That's not comfortable. And
I just feel like, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never had a boyfriend or a husband who's like ripped head to toe, but I just feel like every time I ate pizza in front of them, I'd be judged. Like
it's like if you want to feel bad about yourself every day, date that.
Right.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Hoss, does it intimidate you if a girl has like a smoking hot body? Or
I dated a stripper.
Okay.
Well, but that doesn't mean.
I mean,
anything.
she was a Hollywood Boulevard stripper.
She was a good stripper.
Yeah.
She had a smoking hot body.
Yeah, she was pretty great. She was 6'1".
Oh, Joe has the locker room picture of Patty Mahomes. And so yeah, if you want to pop it up, you can. You guys can tell me. There it is.
There it is. Oh,
yeah, that's a bit of a dad bod.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you think a Super Bowl champ? I don't know. I just pictured him to just be ripped under there because he's so good.
You know what?
Well, as long as his legs and his arms are good, that's all that really matters when you're a quarterback.
He's got a little bit of a gut. I love that though.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I am not body shaming, but
no. And he's also very relaxed. He's just,
true.
Chilling,
like I said, he himself was like, "Hey, why'd you have to do me dirty?" Yeah. All I know is I've seen Nick Bosa in every casual position possible, and he does not ever look like that. Nick Bosa,
but that is his thing, though. Is to be.
Hoss, do you know who Nick Bosa is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, I only know.
Have you met our friend Hoss?
I know, but I don't know if Nick Bosa is that good of a player or if it's just because
Nick Bosa is a phenomenally good player.
He is. I want to see him sack Mahomes so bad at the Super Bowl.
Me too.
That's what I will be.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
Hard.
Repeatedly. He got 2 sacks and
Kelly would like to see him do lots of things repeatedly and hard.
Yes.
I bet.
Yes, I would. This is a family show, damn it.
Doesn't have to be.
That's who.
Let's see. We have a couple other things. We've got like 15 minutes left. I was gonna talk about first date ideas because I had a guy unmatch me on what is it called? Bumble or whatever. Because it's hard. You guys know I'm not really good at being an adult, right? Like I just I've never really functioned as an adult, period. And now trying to like blend in with other adults who don't already know me.
You do a good impersonation.
I do a good impersonation. Yeah, sweet.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
And then so a lot of times, like the guys will be like, "Hey, you want to meet up for a drink?" And I'll be like, "Sure." Like I don't drink, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go to a bar. So
I'll have a Coke.
Yeah, I'll show up and I'll have like a soda or water or something. They're like, "Oh no, well, if you don't drink, it's no big deal. We'll go grab coffee." And I'm like, "Well, don't drink coffee either." And they're like, "Well, what do you like to do?" And I'm like, I told this guy, I said, "We can meet at Quick Trip and get fountain sodas." And then like I went back and looked and it's like, this person is unmatched you.
I would imagine that he probably thought that you were effing with him.
I guess he did. Like I really wasn't. And I am looking for comments from the people in the chat section of, and Hoss might know this, first date ideas. And here's what I mean by first date. I don't ever consider meeting a stranger a date because that's bizarre.
Yeah.
But in a situation where I am talking to somebody online and we like each other enough to meet in person, like what is a good thing to do? Because it just seems like, it seems like everything is awkward.
Going to get coffee or whatever is a good first one because it's in public and things like that. But you don't like coffee, you don't like bars. This is going to be harder to do in winter. But like you could have gotten fountain drinks and like, let's go to the park and walk around and talk.
Yeah.
Listen, I think your problem was saying like, I don't drink and I don't like coffee. That doesn't matter. I think that doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't want to go to a bar, is that what it is? You don't want to go to a bar?
No, I said I would go. I just wanted, I was like practicing.
I think if you say like, I don't drink, people assume like maybe you
don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if you say like, no, I'm great with going to a bar. Maybe don't mention I don't drink.
Okay.
You don't have to say that. I don't think you have to say that.
Go to Starbucks, get a pink drink.
Yeah. If they say, well, let's get coffee. You don't have to say, I don't like coffee. Any coffee place has things that are not coffee.
Right.
Or I did with the one guy that I met up with. I just ordered a drink. I ordered an Amaretto sour. Like I'm not like anti-alcohol for like my whole entire. I'm just not a drinker.
Yeah.
Same.
So it's also not a big deal if I just order one and drink it because sometimes that's easier than explaining to somebody.
Yeah, and I think
just do go and get a Diet Coke. If they give you if you go on
they unmatched me.
If you go on a first date with someone to a bar and they give you shit because you ordered a Diet Coke, that should be also your last date.
Right, exactly.
I think
what it is, I think they think you're being difficult if you're like, well, I don't like alcohol. Well, I don't like
yes.
They think you're being difficult.
Yeah. I think that they think I'm boring is what I think.
Maybe that's it.
Is that they think like, oh God, this girl doesn't drink. She's one of those.
Now, knowing you, I would have laughed at the let's go to Quick Trip and get a fountain soda. If I didn't know you and I had asked you on a date and you had shot down my first two things by going, I don't drink, I don't like coffee. And I said, well, where do you want to go? And your response was, let's go to a gas station and get a soda.
Yeah.
I probably would have reacted the same way.
Have you had the Quick Trip hot dogs?
No, look, okay. I get it. I'm
the other thing is,
however, if I don't know you and I'm trying to date you, your response to first date is let's go to the gas station. I'm probably going to be like, all right, this chick clearly is not.
Yeah, she's messing with me.
Yeah.
The other thing is, a lot of that over a text conversation is really hard to interpret.
It is.
Yeah, you can't pick up.
There's no tone.
Inflection.
There's no inflection. Exactly. So, if you're just like, like, let's go to Quick Trip. Like maybe you're trying to be funny, there's no way to like throw that in, without like a series of emojis or something,
Right.
But like, even at that, like if you're just trying to be cute or clever or something, they might just imagine like, oh, she's just messing with me. She's wasting my time.
Sure. And I think our age group specifically, like the Gen Xers, it is really hard to interpret someone's intentions over text because we all hate texting.
Right.
Like we're not like the young kids of like, yes, this is how I communicate all day. So I try not to get my feelings too hurt when people are standoffish or don't return text. Like I'm not one of those people who gets upset that you didn't like write me back right away. But like also it's like, man, if he liked me, I think he would text me more. But again, being our age group, that might not be their way of showing that they like you. I don't know.
Somebody says mini golf is a fun first date.
Mini golf is a great first date.
Ooh, mini golf would be fun. I'm just very competitive though. That's the only problem is that if I lose, I'm pissed.
Yeah. So you can go to the gas station, get your sodas,
maybe
and play mini golf.
dial down the competitiveness for the first date.
Okay.
I'm not saying you have to lose.
Uh-huh.
But like maybe don't get pissed if you lose and also don't spike it if you win.
Okay. Don't hit him with my club.
Spike a club.
I'm incredibly competitive though. Incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
Like my first fist fight was over who was going to sit shotgun. So like it like it's if I want. So, okay. But somebody said roller skating. God bless you, BJ. That sounds like a horrible idea. Can you imagine taking a date roller skating? First of all, the whole place smells like feet.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very hot.
And it's loud.
You can't stand up.
Also, if it's first date, there's going to be an awkward point in that if you're roller skating where they do the
couples
skate.
Yeah. And you're
that
like,
ain't a first date
don't
thing.
you? Yeah.
Oh, I will never forget. So, when I was younger, was like the exact same mini version of who I am now, but I was at a roller skating party and my boyfriend, Aaron Meyer, had broken up with me to date Aaron Ellis. We were like in 5th grade and I went up to the DJ.
A lot of Aarons.
Yes. I went up to the roller skating DJ and I said, and this is such a Gen X thing because nobody would do this today. I said, I need you to dedicate a song from Kelly to Aaron. And I want it to be, I hate myself for loving you. And and of course he's like, and this next song is going from Kelly to Aaron. I hate myself for loving you. And I look back on that as like 5th grade Kelly. That was savage as fuck. Like that was amazing. And the fact that the roller skating DJ did it.
Oh, he probably loved every second of that.
Yeah, because I remember looking around like, where's the bastard? Does he hear that dedication? That
was me.
Yeah. So,
roller skating DJ was just happy he didn't have to play the hokey pokey or a birthday.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. I said, I want you to dedicate.
Limbo.
I hate myself for loving you. I was in 5th grade. What did I know about love?
Nothing. Oh, absolutely.
About as much as I know at 47.
True. Same. But you're dating, right? You're doing something.
Did you salvage some of those?
Oh yeah, we're good.
Okay, good.
Do you have a roster?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a roster.
I had to start a folder on my phone. It's not a roster, but it's like a keeping stuff straight. But do you have anything in your phone?
Not just a hat rack.
Oh,
so what you're saying is in your brain.
My dad legit used to say that.
Yeah.
Not just a hat rack.
Just a hat rack.
Yeah.
Because I know there was a guy that I went on that I went and like hung out with, and he showed me his roster, and it was like scrolling.
Why would you do that?
Because I called. I'm like, I know you probably like date a lot of chicks and stuff like that, and like I don't know, we had a really fun, like silly,
That's like the adult version of asking, so what's your number?
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't on the roster. I'm like,
what's your number?
I'm like, I don't want a nickname. Number of like how many people you've porked.
What was the
body count?
That's it, body count.
What's your body count?
Body count? Oh god.
That's a great
cool. Like a lot. I mean, it's easy for me because I was married for 900 years. But at some age, like if you've been single, don't you forget? Like, do you like keep track?
I have a rough idea.
You have a rough
idea?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just sit down and draw it out. We should guess what his number is, and we'll see if either one of us are close.
Will you give us high-low?
Sure.
Should we write it down or say it out loud, though?
I don't care.
But I don't want your mom to listen and know how many people you
Mom's
porked.
not going to listen. Are you kidding me? Unless we end up on Law and Order, we're safe.
Okay, so we have 6 minutes of the show left. Stephanie and I are going to try to guess how many people Haas has slept with. You are 47 years old.
Yes.
You've never been married.
Correct.
You've been dating since you were a
No
teenager.
kids that I'm aware of.
No kids that he's aware of. How many long-term girlfriends did you have in high school?
One.
For a while,
And
right?
Since then, several.
So let's talk this out, Steph, because
but only a handful of like long-term serious girlfriends.
But here's the thing.
I hate dating. That's part of the problem.
He hates dating, but Haas.
But I'm really good at it. I just don't like it.
Right. And he's always had like a successful job and he's nice looking.
He travels a lot though.
So it like him as a person is an attractive person to date for a single girl. But Haas has also never like struck me as one of the, like most guys will stick their dick in anything.
I know.
But Haas, like he doesn't strike me as that. I don't think it's going to be as high as
Look
we
at him
think.
Smirking over there like
he's
smirking. No.
I was a really good frat boy.
Oh hell.
Shit. Okay. So you were in a fraternity for how many years? All 4?
3.5. We couldn't pledge our first semester, but second.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's say in high school he had sex with like 3 people.
Okay.
Like let's say the girlfriend, some random first one, and like a one-nighter. Okay. So that'd be 3.
3 in high school.
Let's say college.
Lily's guessing 30. Okay.
don't react.
I'm not.
I don't want to know. So I would say like 3-ish in high school. That's
3-ish in high school. We're gonna say 15 in college.
15 in college. So 18. See, I wasn't gonna go super high above 20. I don't know why.
I wasn't either, but the fraternity thing really like.
So if it's 15 in college,
and then
that's only 5 girls a year. Don't most frat boys have sex with more than 3 girls a year? Or 5 girls a year?
I'm trying to be a little nice here.
Okay,
but
and then you've got adulthood,
right?
Which he's got 20 years on that.
Yeah, lots of adulthood.
But like he said, he doesn't date around a lot, so he recycles.
He does recycle.
I will.
But he doesn't like.
I will tell you. You're saying I don't date around a lot. You're right, but I'm also going to let you in on a secret. You don't have to date someone to sleep with them.
Gosh,
I do.
I mean, you should.
You know how much
public service announcement, kids. Be safe.
Be safe.
Let me just say, like,
be smart and be safe.
Wrap your whacker.
My life would be so much easier if I was a hoe. So much easier. So much easier. I mean, but I'm not. Like I can't have sex with people.
Like the song.
I mean, how old were you got married?
22 or 3.
Okay, so you were fairly young.
Yeah.
I think that most of us who don't get married right out of school go through the hoe phase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
I didn't get that either.
Yeah.
I just can't have sex with a stranger. I mean, that's just the most awkward thing on the planet. Like, I know that some people they think it's super fun and like, but honestly, like, so one night stands, I'm sure you've had plenty.
Not plenty.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
But you got to admit that
I'm just going to go out and I'm going to say 45.
I was going to say 25.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to say 25.
Kelly's low.
I'm low. Is Stephanie high?
Am I high?
Please tell me Stephanie's high.
You're in the ballpark. Again, like I don't know the real
man
number.
Whore.
I mean, I had some fun. Again,
I love you. That's amazing.
Again, look at the industry I'm in.
Yes.
40 people. I like thinking of 4 people seeing me naked makes me want to crawl in a hole and die.
Oh, Jillian said 60 plus.
I wish. I wish I could claim that.
But like, okay, back to the one night stands. Like, you cannot tell me that those are not awkward. Like, maybe it's fun leading up to it, but then when it's done, you got to be like, oh, shit.
Bye.
Bye. But then don't the guys get like the big thing? It's like the post-nut clarity of like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did this.
I guess it depends on your morality.
Yeah. I mean, I am not going to lie and say I've been in love with every woman I've slept with. Some of them I've probably downright hated.
Satan.
Yeah. We did 2 things well. They both started with F.
Wait. Oh, fighting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't say that I've ever. That's not true. There has been a few awkward moments, but yeah.
I don't know. Just the thought of a stranger seeing me naked makes you want to crawl in a hole and die.
I don't know. I think the stranger part and seeing me naked is easier to deal with.
Yeah, I would.
Especially if you know you're not going to see him again. Like, whatever.
Yeah, and his travel schedule. I mean, if he's in another city that maybe doesn't visit very often, like.
What about, I'm sure you've had like a friends with benefits type of thing. Do those work out or no?
I've had some that have been incredible and lasted decades.
Nice.
You ever caught feelings?
I've had some where like I've caught feelings. I've had some where she's caught feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen.
Yeah.
But you know, I think if that is your relationship, there has to be very clearly defined lines.
Very clear.
Yeah.
And you can't be like intertwined in each other's lives, like
yeah.
on a
you
daily
can't be
basis.
like, hey, do you want to go hang out and go to a movie? Like, no, this is what this is.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's another thing is that I heard that if you're friends with benefits, there's all these rules about like no cuddling afterwards and like no.
I think it's a case by case basis.
It's very case by case because like
and how good your friendship is, maybe.
Yeah, I used to be very good friends with a girl that when I was single and she was single, we'd scratch each other's back. And
naked.
Yeah. And I mean,
that was a metaphor.
But there were times where like, I'd be like, it's like, we'd be done. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. I was like, if you want to spend the night, spend the night. Like, let's just watch, we'll turn on TV and like watch Netflix and fall asleep, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I have questions.
Yes.
So like if you have a friend with benefits and you give her the booty call, the bat signal, where you're like, hey girl, what's up? Is that what you say? Like usually you up? And so she's like, yeah, I'm up. I'll come over. And so she comes over at like 8:30 at night. Like when she
8:30? Oh,
I don't know. I'm old. So
I mean, I've had those.
8:30.
Okay.
I've had those
at 8:30 at night.
When your FWB shows up.
Yep.
Is there like a discussion about the weather? Is there small talk?
Sometimes.
Or is it like, hey, the bedroom's this way and like you're just getting naked? Like how does that evolve?
Sometimes column A, sometimes column B. I mean, if it's been a while and we haven't seen each other, like, hey, what's going on? What's to do with you? Blah, 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 blah. But like if it's a Wednesday and I just saw you Saturday, pants off as soon as the door closes.
So like in a lot of cases, you guys are already like making out within like 5 minutes of being in the door.
5 seconds.
Oh my God. This is so
I would say
I have so much to learn.
I would say that there's like
she's taking
there's like a sliding scale of like the later in the night the booty call is, the shorter the amount of lead time is.
Okay.
Like if you're coming over at 2:00 in the morning, girl, I got work in the morning. Like, let's get to it.
God.
Wow.
I don't even like to get out of bed to pee at 2 a.m. I could not imagine like waiting for somebody to come over.
Are you going to always entertain these, or is it just like, no, I really got an early meeting.
I've turned it down a lot. I've been turned down a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're hungry at 9:30 at night and you're like, well, maybe I can order in tonight.
Yeah.
What's up? You delivering? Is the kitchen open?
I'm so fascinated by the adult sex world. I mean, I
know.
So have you encountered the third date rule yet?
No, because I'm not going to do that. Like
I don't think you should, but there's still people who abide by that. This is a great one.
So if anyone doesn't know, the third date rule is that
put out by the third date.
Is that by the third date is when you're supposed to have sex.
So I have a very good friend of mine, and we have always been platonic. Mainly because I think we're both worried that if we did sleep together, it would really change things.
Mm-hmm.
Like we shared a bed when she moved to LA, didn't have a place to stay. She slept in my bed for 4 months, never done anything.
Wow.
Okay.
So she had just gotten divorced and started hanging out with this guy. She's like, we're not dating, whatever. But she was spending the night there, like out of a 7-day week, like 5 nights. And I asked her one time, I was like, are you two sleeping together? She's like, well, like we're sleeping. I go, but nothing's happening. And she's like, well, like we'll give each other back rubs and stuff. And I'm like,
There's no way it ends there.
I was like, how clothed are you? And there was just silence. And I was like, right. I was like, I need to explain adult dating to you. I was like, the third date rule may not be a thing when you're an adult, but if you're spending 5 out of 7 days a week repeatedly there in his bed, naked, you are burning through your grace period.
Yeah, like
at some point, he's going to be like, "Hey, sister."
Well, yeah, duh.
Either get on your back or get out the door.
And I've actually not had bad experiences. I feel like I've really vetted most guys that I talk to, but I tell them from the very beginning, like, if you are looking for a hookup girl, I am not her. Like, I am not going by anybody's rule. I will sleep with somebody when I want to. It is not their fucking decision.
As you should.
Yeah.
Of when, like, I will sleep with you when I'm comfortable with you and when I want to. I sure as hell am not going to do it just because it's the third day. You can kiss my ass. So no. And I
think that's a goal.
Yeah, and I'm also running.
I think the third date rule came around from the fact that usually by the third date, you have a pretty good vibe of if you actually like the person.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, there's people who have one night stands they end up marrying. So it, you know,
I know one. I know one very well.
So it, you know,
it was a New Year's Eve hookup that turned into a marriage.
I don't feel like there's one answer one way or the other. I just know for me personally, sex has always been intimate. It's never been like this random thing, and I just can't. Like I said, if I were a hoe, my life would be so much easier right now because I feel like being single for the first time in 20 years, I'm trying to function in a hoe world where I'm not a hoe, and I don't like.
You need to channel the hoe energy.
I don't think you need to be a hoe.
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm competing with.
That like hoe energy, though.
But when I tell guys that I'm talking with, like, hey, just so you know, like, we're not porking on the first date. Like, that's not what I do. Well, they've got no, I'm not giving a hand job on the first date either. They've got 10 girls who will. So it's almost like I don't stand a chance, you know.
Well,
so that's why.
But again, I think this comes down to like, what is this guy looking for?
Yeah.
Like, if this guy's just looking to get off, then you're not the girl.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I am coming to the realization that most people who are our age and are single want to be single. They don't.
There's truth to that. I got to be honest. Like, and I am dating women right now, but there's also the part of me that's like, man, it was so much easier when I didn't. Yeah. Just could do whatever the hell I wanted to and didn't have to be like, hey, do you want to do something this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was telling Steph, I can't talk.
It's me.
Like, you'll have a great day with someone. I had a great day like 2 weeks ago, and like we were talking every day, and then all of a sudden he's just gone. They just drop off, and it's like I don't have the pride. I don't have the pride to chase somebody. Like the sperm does not, the egg does not chase the sperm. So like I'm not asking any questions.
Well, I'm also what my friends like to call the lazy shortstop, which is I'm not going to dive to field the ball, but if it's hit right at me, I'll catch it and throw it to first. But I'm not diving to make the play.
Wait a minute. Hang on. That went over my head. So you're not going,
I'm not going to chase a chick down.
Right. And I don't expect to be like chased, but I'm just saying if a guy suddenly like starts being ghosty.
Yeah.
Like,
you're out.
Other than being like, hey, like maybe once, like, how was your day? Or like just trying to like reinvigorate the conversation simply. I'll do that. But other than that, I'm not like, why are you talking to me anymore? Fuck off.
Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah.
You know, so
bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Too bad you're not in San Diego. Our first date would be lunch or dinner overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
And if it was in San Diego, it would cost $300.
Right. Which is why I also will not ever let a guy, like, I don't want them to pay on the first date. Because that's the other thing is I feel like any guy that pays for you wants to see your boobs or something.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Not always, but
if I took either of you out to lunch or dinner, I would pay. It's the way I was raised.
Right. And that I did have a guy pay for me a couple of weeks ago and I let him, but I had also been really clear with him. I'm like, hey, you're not going to see my boobs tonight. That's not happening.
I think the way I was raised, if I take someone out on a date, if I ask you out on a date,
then you pay.
I'm paying.
That's kind of how I feel too.
I do that if I ask somebody out to lunch or dinner.
I think it is a gentleman's rule. Like, pay for your lady.
But I also feel like there's nothing wrong with a woman who wants, like, if I really want to go to a hockey game and like the guy's not super into hockey, I'd be like, let me pay for our tickets. Let me get our hockey tickets. And, you know, Mike says he ghosted a girl once or twice. Why? I don't understand the immaturity of like, it's the difference between talking with like a little boy and a grown ass man.
Yeah. If
like,
you're just not feeling it out, be like, hey, I don't see this going anywhere.
Like, that's all you got to say is like, hey, like, I don't have time to guess how anybody feels about me. So either you like me or you don't.
Yeah. What's the worst somebody can say?
You could even make something up and be like, hey, like, there was one guy that I was talking to that I didn't want to talk to anymore, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I just said, hey, I'm taking like a big break from online dating. Like, I'm not going to be on here for a while. Like, and he didn't know that I actually didn't, but at least I gave him something and I didn't just disappear. Because I think I got ghosted a couple years ago. It messes with your head when somebody ghosts with you because you think you did something wrong and you start replaying these things in your head of like, oh my God, it was that one thing I said. That's what it was. That and it's not fair to that person to not just say, hey, I had a great time with you, but I don't see this going anywhere, or I'm going to date somebody else, or I don't want to date right now, or, you know, I'm becoming a nun or a priest, like anything, but not communicating because
mission to Mars. I got to go.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it.
Something.
She was making an effort to meet up, so you ghosted her. What's the point of talking to people if you're like, that's the other thing is that.
So I ghosted. Why don't you just say no?
No, there's
she was making no effort to meet up.
No effort.
That's
no
effort.
effort.
That's different. That's not ghosting. That's if she's being that indecisive, that's just you cutting your losses.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But still, I feel like Mike, you could have not ghosted. Could have just said like, look, this isn't going anywhere. I'm moving on.
Like we either meet up or I'm out. You know, something like that. So. All right. Well, we didn't even get to half the stuff we were supposed to get to. We started with boobs, went into football, everything else. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today.
Somehow got into my number, which I don't know.
I still can't believe you're over 40.
I love it.
I'm 47. That's how old I am.
No, I mean your sex numbers though.
That number. Probably the same.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Get you
what do I say if somebody asks?
Let me know when you hit 50. I'll throw you a party.
We should have a 50th sex party.
Yay!
That would be
throw
amazing.
You a party, Haas.
Yeah.
When you think you're around 50.
I mean, I'm around 50.
You think you're around 50?
Go home and make a list. Go see exactly how close you are.
All right.
And then, I've never had a guy ask me that. I personally don't think.
I have a question, but I'm going to ask it off the air because.
Yeah, ask it off the air because I don't answer those kinds of questions.
No. Yeah, never mind.
You can ask it. I'm just saying we may not answer it, but. Or I might just cut off your microphone and throw you out in the parking lot.
He's going to text us.
He's going to text us the question. Hang on. Here we go. Is it going to both of us?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're just going to be quiet here for a minute. While
Yep. Don't mind us. The internet here doesn't work. I would say one.
I think it's one encounter.
One encounter. So it counts as one.
Do threesomes count as one or two?
Oh, well.
All right. Cat's out of the bag.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Put on, Haas. I love you.
It depends on if you had actual sex with both of them.
I know.
Right?
So again, I ask.
I think it counts as two. If you're talking about body count.
It's a body count.
All
I think it's two.
Yeah. That's the other thing with online dating is there are so many couples looking for girlfriends.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yep.
And then I see them and I'm like, they look so normal. And then I'll go find their Facebook. So I'm like, they are normal.
They all live in Winghaven.
Yes.
or Newtown.
Swinghaven.
And I'm not judging. Y'all can do whatever you want. I am amused by all of this because it's been the complete opposite of my life for 22 years. And it's new to me and I'm immature and that's all. So, but anyway, we will be back next week. If you like the show, share the show. That's always a nice thing to do.
Yes.
We'll be back sometime next week talking about God only knows what. Maybe I'll have an online boyfriend by then. Maybe Haas will hit number 50 by then. Come back with your list next week.
All right.
And then we should have a contest of who wants to be lucky number 50.
Oh, God. I think there's laws against that.
Yeah, there might be.
Although I guess as long as we're not charging to be number 50, we might be safe.
No.
Let's table that idea.
Nope. We'll table it. We'll talk about it later. So thank you guys for watching the Kelly Manno Show. If you want to find me on social media, it's at Kelly Manno. You probably already know that. Do you guys want to plug your socials?
Ma'am?
Oh, gosh. No.
No.
You don't have to.
I'm at Hossapalooza on X and Middle Age the Giant on Instagram.
Sweet. All right. We love you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.